was telling me that he was a veterinarian in Mexico, and he actually made more money slinging hot dogs, working the line, enough to find a place to live and to send money back to his family in Mexico. And he was trying to save up to get certified so he could become a vet here in America. But, so many people, Mexicans are lazy. Bullshit. They're doing half of the work, and they're doing it for a fraction of the price. And if you want to take that out of the equation, then shit's going to start getting really expensive, and we're going to have some major problems.
And that's why other people, I tell you, that's why people from other countries come here and kick our ass, because they already know education is key, and they come here to work. There's nothing they won't do, whereas we get here and we're complaining. I work with people who don't want to work. I got guys who probably should have been fired years ago at my job, who will not, they won't do a whole check. You can't do, they got the best medical, they got the best everything. These fuckers need to be fired, but they won't. And they're sitting there, we can't get them to do anything. Now we're stuck with them because they learn how to play the game. Because once they learn how to play the game, which is getting permanent disability and getting on these different ways of getting money, that's it. I got family members that way. Why should I go to work when I can sit at home right now and get me a check?
Yeah, but you know what? One thing that so many people. Sorry, again, I will let other people speak for a minute. But so many people like to point. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, Will. It's this week. But so many people. I made the joke earlier about Paul Ryan referring to the makers and the takers. And when they refer to the takers, they're thinking about, like, people that you were just talking about, Tymon, who's sitting there, well, how can I get my government check and how can I not work? Well, most of the actual takers are the citizens known as corporations and these folks who are, making tax shelters overseas and just basically doing everything they can to take anything they can from the government and then point at Pookie and Ray Ray and go, no, they're the takers. Right. We're business. We're business people. We're doing fine.
Yeah, let's say you're saying nobody wants to work. Let's be real. Nobody does want to work, because if we were rich enough, we wouldn't be saying, I want to go pump gas today, But I want to go flip burgers.
The reason why I say that, though, when there are guys out there who, you have an opportunity. There are people who do want to work. I mean, I appreciate my job. I don't want to sleep on someone else's couch, and I don't want to be asking anyone for any money. But when you have a really good job that, once you, put your time in and you're getting it, I'm not saying they're perfect, but hey, man, you can't sit up and complain I can understand if you're out of work, you got fired or you lost your job, I get it. But I'm working with people who have a job and they're doing everything they can to not work. And they have the best medical. When you work for the county, they put you to the front of the line when you go into the hospital. Yeah. You don't these guys have the best of everything, and they don't want to work. And
Well, did you have a point there before we move on?
I thought I made it.
Okay, all right, no problem.
I kind of lost track. I thought we were going to talk about the Oscars too.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to head into. So the Oscars this week, they announced the nominations. And big surprise, out of all 20 acting nominees and all 5 Best Director nominees, all of them are white. And the best...
Except for Alejandro.
Okay, all right, sorry about that. Except for Alejandro. But then on top of that, there's, Straight Outta Compton, a lot of people were wondering, well, why did that get overlooked so much? And it actually got nominated for Best Screenplay, but the 2 writers were white. So...
none of the cast of Straight Outta Compton. None of them.
No.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
I don't know. I'm not. I would think that there's other black acted movies that would have had perhaps gotten nominated, but the movie as a whole, I think, was definitely deserved to be.
What was that movie with the kid on the bike? Brick or Dope? It wasn't Brick. Brick was years ago. Dope. Yeah. That kid on the bike. Yeah. He didn't get nominated.
No.
What the?
No. I know.
Well, I don't give a fuck about the Oscars anyway, man. Every year the Oscars are on. I do what George C. Scott did in 1971 and go watch a fucking hockey game. This year's no fucking different. February 28th, Kings and Ducks at the Honda Center. I'm going to be there. Fuck you. Fuck the Oscars. I saw 3 movies all year. Straight Outta Compton, the Peanuts movie, and fucking Star Wars. Fuck all y'all.
Yeah.
Go your fucking. All you're going to see anyway. The speeches like the State of the Union address rehashed. If I want to watch political speeches, I watch a political show. Yeah. All right, these actors giving speeches. Fuck off. You don't.
That just real quick on that. So many people are always complaining about actors and Hollywood liberals. Even though you got folks like Gary Sinise and Gary Busey and other actors named Gary who are conservative, but. I sort of feel for these guys when they're speaking out on politics, because really their job is to only have other people's words come out of their mouths. Mm-hmm. So, I think it is nice when they do have an opportunity to use their own words, that they show that they have thoughts of their own. So I have no problem with.
Why do we need? I mean, and I keep going to this. I mean, because I hear it from. The brothers and the sisters, they don't have any black people, and there's no. Look, create your own, bro. My thing is because you want something from something. It's crazy because a bunch of actors are running it, okay? Because like you just said, you got folks.
But it's not just actors. It's also the studio. It's the business side also.
Okay, yeah. It's called show business, and they created it, and they're not letting you in. Get over it. They're not letting you in. But make your own movies, continue to push your art. Like you got Capitol Records, but that never stopped the musician. I mean, from playing his music, doing his music, it never got to stop your following. Prince broke away, didn't care about a war, but Prince is still out there kicking it. I mean, still doing his thing. I'm just saying they're not going to give it to you. I know you want it. Maybe they should. Maybe it should be more blacks here, more black. Okay, civil rights, yes. Okay, and get rid of Jim Crow, yes. Whether you get a gold statue that a prick who sat up and put this shit together, maybe you should have. I don't know about that, because what is that saying? Really? Do you really need that? What does it say? I mean, you want to be granted by your peers? They're going to see your work.
Well, but I think...
Yeah, well, also, it's very important for people to remember, you don't need permission to make your own movie. You don't need somebody else to bestow upon you permission to make your own movie or your own art.
No, but you do need the money to make the film and then to market it and distribute it.
Okay, but I'm saying you can get distribution from other entities that I'm just saying, don't get caught up in this thing that you're trying to get from them, because they really don't want to give it to you. If they had... If that was the case, how long did it take before Denzel finally took over from what Sidney Poitier got?
Right, but you're talking about the DIY approach, and it's true and it's great, and I think to an extent, Tyler Perry has shown that you can do that you can be outside of the system and make a shitload of money. But I think much like what we're seeing with politics with Donald Trump is that money does not necessarily equal quality. Right. No offense to Tyler Perry or his many fans, I don't think any movie with Medea in the title is going to be Oscar eligible, and not because it's black people.
Well, wait a minute, but black people feel that way.
Right.
Okay, so
no, absolutely.
They feel that way because he knows that stuff is directed at a specific audience. He knows who his audience is, and that's who's in love with it. And it's there to make money, not get awards. I have a problem with it. I'm not into it, but if that's what he's doing. So, but are we breaking our neck to go and see Tyler Perry? No, but are there movies out there that probably are Oscar worthy? Yeah, but will you get them? I mean, Steven Spielberg directed The Color Purple. Nominated for 11 Academy Awards. Didn't win jack. Nothing. Okay.
So you're saying the Academy hates Jews?
There you go. But wait a minute. He turned around and did...
One of these days, Jewish people will break into show business and they'll show you.
He did Schindler's List.
We're hoping.
But after he did Schindler's List, he won. Right? He blew everyone away. But he didn't win. So, I mean, you can't call it, man. You'd be broke trying to bet on what Hollywood's going or what the Academy's going to do. You lose your money.
I just remember back when The Color Purple was nominated that year, Billy Crystal was hosting, or at least doing a joke, and he was like, "Oh, what's that movie, The Color People?" Anyway.
See.
Anyways, no, but I do have one interesting point of news about diversity, and this ain't no joke. This is real. Fox is bringing back 24, and Kiefer Sutherland is like, "Hey, I'm done. I can't do this forever." So they're going to reboot it with and they're determined to find a black hero for it.
Terry Crews.
And yeah. Well,
I think they're shooting for someone younger.
Yeah, they're looking for what it is.
Pun intended.
Somebody. What is the pun on that one?
Shooting?
Oh.
Shooting at black people? Fox?
No, but they're going to have the idea is that the character is...
I feel bad for laughing at that.
The character is like a relatively young guy, stumbles into CTU desperate for his life, and he has some info that they need, and he gets thrown into the heart of it.
Who's the kid who played Ice Cube?
I still believe...
That was Cube's kid, yeah.
I still believe create your own. Make your own heroes. Make your own secret agents. Do all your own stuff because every time. Well, we're going to hand it over to the brother now. Here we go. We get hand another one over to the brother. You can't just keep handling like Denzel's doing Equalizer. Okay, they're remaking and they're just putting the brother in the spot. We'll pull the white person out. Put the brother over here. Create your own.
Well, or
get out there. And a good friend of mine made a good point. And I'll say this. He said the problem with black people. And the movies that they do is that they have no taste. He said their taste in movies that they decide to create sometimes just is not for. You must quit doing stuff strictly for your cultural deal, but do it for everyone to stand out. And you got Straight Outta Compton, which everybody who were rap fans of NWA, that was across the board. That was across the board that everybody was into that movie because they love NWA, and it just blew it off everybody loved the rap. Mm-hmm. So, and you love the movie. The acting was good. It was very good. So, yes, that's why that's why you have to write a universal.
But one of the reasons why it wasn't nominated for an Academy Award was people kind of lost track of it because it was released like in August or something. And people have this whole strategy about releasing films for Academy Award attentions, and it usually happens like in December, all the heavy-duty ones, and movies that happened earlier in the year. Like, it was incredibly surprising that Mad Max actually did as well as it did, because it was released in May. So, that's another thing about the whole strategy of gearing up for the Academy Awards.
Right.
Yeah, also, if that's your strategy for releasing a movie for Oscars, you have to be careful to submit your paperwork in time because Selma last year, they messed up their submission to the Academy, I understand, and that's how they didn't.
No, they did get nominated for Best Picture.
They did?
Yeah.
Well, shit.
But he didn't get nominated for Best Actor, though, did he?
No.
You see.
Oh, there you go.
And that's the thing. Man, like I said, you can't. You just gotta, keep working. And I don't know if you're ever gonna get. The Academy to like whatever you have. I mean, if you spend your nights trying to worry about the Academy, you're gonna end up blowing your brains out. It's not gonna work. I mean, these guys know what they're doing, and they'll just put in a tail. Porky Pig can win. I don't know.
Yeah, awards are great, and I understand how adding Oscar winner or Oscar nominee to something can raise the value. Of course it can, but like you were saying earlier, Tymon, just make the art, make it happen. You're talking about. Rather than taking an established property and just putting a black man in, which I think we've just resigned ourselves to the fact that Hollywood is pretty much done coming up with original ideas. They're only doing reboots and remakes now, but and not to throw too much praise at Marvel, but we've got the Luke Cage series coming out on Netflix, I think next year. As part of the whole Marvel universe that they've been establishing.
Black Panther's coming out.
Right. That's going to be in theaters. So there are properties out there that if you are determined not to come up with original material, there are properties out there, intellectual properties that you can bring to the screen, be it the big screen or the small screen, with black protagonists.
Yeah, and I believe that for a lot of black actors or people who want to produce stuff, you gotta go and find your money. There are black billionaires out there. There are black millionaires out there. You want to go to these basketball players and all these guys that are handing these $180 million contracts to. Go and talk to these guys about, investing in your film and putting stuff together, showing them that you want to do, and if they want to get into that, because they do.
all the black millionaires aren't Ben Carson.
Yeah, there you go. You can go to the Michael Jordans of the world, the Tiger Woods, anybody. If that's what you do. Oprah has promoted. She helped Spike Lee get his stuff, and so did Bill Cosby when he was doing Malcolm X. You got to go to the right people.
It was everything else.